Hi everyone, as you have already read, I'm Dhea and I'm going to tell you about my experience moving into new city and living alone for my English assignment. Two years ago, I finally decided to move to Pematangsiantar for college. It was not my decision at all, and it was very sad that I could not choose where to go to complete my education, but it was fine. A day before I left my hometown, my parents were already so busy with all of my stuff, and they kept reminding me not to forget to pack any single things. So, after I took a shower, I started packing my clothes, all of my books, my makeup, and many other things. Since I moved to a complete empty house, so I really need to pack extra, I even packed my cutlery and wrapped them in a newspaper so I would not break on the way. And I put all of my stuff into a huge box. The next day arrived, my whole family accompanied me to Pematangsiantar and they stayed here for 3 days to help me clean and unpack my stuff before I came back to my hometown, Padang Sidimpuan, and I was left alone in here in a city that somehow felt so familiar to me. On the first day arrived, my dad took a part in the bathroom, my mom in the bedroom, and then my sibling and I took a lunch because we're so hungry and I couldn't function when I'm hungry. And after fooling around, I finally helped my parents to move the bed since it was so heavy. It needed like 4 people to lift it up. And after that, after we cleaning everything, we went to my grandparents' house and stayed there. On the second day, after going shopping for my orientation meet, we came back to my house to finish everything all. And on the third day, it was time for me to say goodbye to my family. And the sadness came over me, and it suddenly felt so real. And the fact that I would not see them for a while makes me want to cry. But in the end, I was not crying. I was not crying because I couldn't really cry in front of them. And then after they left, I started rearrange my wardrobe while video calling my friend because I felt so scared being alone in this house. And I slept pretty early that night. I slept so well, which is weird because I thought I would not be able to fall asleep because considered I had not been sleeping in this house for a very long time. Yeah, I had not slept in this house for a very long time. So it was weird. Anyway, on the first morning of living alone was kind of fun. I woke up with no breakfast. I woke up without the smells of my dad's coffee, and I woke up without my cat. But instead, I woke up into a house full of stuff, full of stuff that had not been put in their proper place, full of dust, and a bunch of texts from my dad asking whether I ate my breakfast or did I lock the door last night, and the answer was no. And that day just filled with cleaning, tidying up the entire house. And I finally ate my breakfast at like 1 p.m., which was fried chicken that my mom had prepared for me. So I only need to fry it, along with rice that I somehow managed to cook successfully. And after that, I spend most of my time alone in this house. After I make friends in here, sometimes after class, my friends came over, and sometimes my family from Padang Sidimpuan came visit me. And now that I live alone, it really taught me a lot of things. At first, I didn't really struggle because living alone had been my dream since I was like in high school or something. And then, but the more I spent most of my time alone, the more I became a person with the deep thoughts. I became a person who didn't know how to speak their feelings. I became a person who analyzed everything too much. But it was fine because I went through it, and I learned a lot from that. I learned not to rely on my parents too much. I learned how to do things on my own, and I learned how to fix and solve my own problem. And I think there's no more precious lesson that I could get except from this experience. And I want to share to you some of the memories that I've pictured for the past like 3 or 2 years ago. I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening to this video, and I hope we got a good score for this assignment. Bye guys! Because salah. Kayak dimsum. Salah, bukan itu. I finally decided. And decision.
Tuhan, ini kerjasamanya tolong dong.